Mom and Dad had first seen it 2 weeks ago. I'd first seen it 2 days ago, staring into my bedroom window. I don't think Jack and Amy have seen it yet. In a way, I'm the reason we're driving. If I hadn't told Mom and Dad I'd seen it, we might have left. But I did. I ran to the room the moment I saw it through my dark window. I've never seen my parents so scared. They packed us all into the car the moment the sun was up in the morning, only letting us grab a few essentials. Jack, Amy, and I thought we were just going to town. We live out on a farm in the country, far away from any neighbors. I think the three of us were just expecting our parents to take us to our aunt's place or the closest police station. But we drove right through the town and on to the next one, and after that, yet another. Mom and Dad slept in shifts. The one who was awake sat up beside the only window, its curtains closed, with a shotgun. And the next morning, we were on the road again, starting out the moment the sun was high enough in the sky. For lunch, Dad just handed back snacks. We didn't stop. "You didn't even give me a chance to charge my phone," Jack complained, stuffing his dead phone into the backseat pocket behind Dad. "I like to be able to at least check what's going on outside of this car." Jack was the oldest, getting ready for college. He was the only one who tried Dad right now. As the youngest, I sat on the far back row of the minivan, my two siblings on the seats in front of me. I watched as my dad spun around in his seat, grabbed the phone out of the pocket, rolled down his window, and pitched the phone out of it. "Hey!" Jack shouted. "Why did you do that, Dad?" Dad rolled his window back up. He didn't answer. His face was set hard and worried. Jack yelled to let us know he was furious and sat back in assault. I turned around in my seat when we stopped at the next red light, looking back out of the window. It was daytime, and it wasn't there. I don't think it could be during the day. Mom and Dad have been making sure to pack us into the motel rooms and pull the curtains closed every day before it got dark. It was another hour before anyone spoke. It was Amy, this time, who tried. "Where are we going?" she asked quietly. She stuck her phone in her pocket, so it couldn't be chucked out of the window. I thought I'd do the same. And my phone still had some battery power. "Into the back end of nowhere," Jack muttered. Neither of our parents called them up on the swearing. Mom flicked her eyes to the rearview mirror. Not to see me, she looked past my head at the road behind. It was heading towards the mid-afternoon. I watched my mom return her eyes hastily to the road in front of her. "Anywhere, until we're safe," she answered. Jack rolled his eyes. Amy sat silently. It was another few hours, the sun starting to set. It was another few hours, the sun starting to set before we piled into the next motel room. Amy and I took one bed, Jack took the other, while Mom lay down on the couch and Dad pulled a chair beside the window, the shotgun barrel balanced against his knee. I woke up later that night to Amy and Jack having a whispered conversation between their beds. I looked over. Dad had taken the couch and was snoring away. Exhausted, Mom had nodded off in her chair. "Do you think it has anything to do with, her?" Amy whispered. "Do you think it's driven them around the twist?" Jack finished for her. "Yeah, I do. I'd agree with that. It, her, whatever you want to call that thing, it was a problem." "I think we need to get away," Jack went on. "Run off? And just leave them?" Amy whispered back. "They're nuts, Jack." "We can call someone for them," Jack suggested. Amy just hummed non-committedly. Mom jolted awake, then and the two of them shut up, pretending to be asleep. I rolled over and shut my eyes again. And when I drifted off to sleep, it was two awful dreams of screams and darkness, dirt, and roaring tractors. We sat silently in the back of the car next morning, watching the scenery rush by outside. I think we all knew not to question our parents anymore. Amy pulled out her phone and went to turn it on. Mom eyed her. "You're not letting anyone know where we are?" she said, her voice low and warning. "I promise, Mom," Amy said. "I'm just checking if anyone messaged me." Amy was quick, just scrolling through her phone. Then she switched off her phone and stuffed it back in her pocket. I was sure to only switch on my phone again when we stopped to use the toilet. I did it inside a stall and quickly messaged my best friend Georgie, just letting her know I wouldn't be in classes for a while. I saw her started to respond. Then I shut my phone off, not wanting to waste battery power. It was at the next rest stop that Jack disappeared. We spent ages calling for him, but where he split off, we couldn't tell. The sun was getting low in the sky, so panicked. My dad made the decision to drive from the nearest motel. Mom argued with him the whole way, and I could tell Dad felt awful about it. I saw him crying in the chair by the motel window that night. Then he pulled the curtain back a bit, looked out, shuddered, and dropped the curtain to cover the window again, gripping the shotgun tighter. Amy was the next to go. It was while we stopped for a pee on the side of the road. She just took off, and though, again, we searched, we couldn't find her. It was just me and my parents then, driving on in silence. Another motel, and another. And then we were caught. 5 police cars and 2 ambulances surrounding us one afternoon, pulling us over. Mom and Dad were taken away to a hospital for a psychiatric assessment. I found myself at my aunt's house, back, not far from where we'd begun driving. Amy and Jack were there. They were fine, though worried about Mom and Dad. They weren't worried about it. I heard this specialist talking to my aunt. I was right there, quiet in the corner that night. This specialist called it a madness shared by 2, she explained. My parents had somehow convinced themselves that they were being followed by something, a figment of their imagination, the specialist suggested. It sounded like adult mumbo-jumbo to me, because I could see it. In the dark, a window across from me, I could see it staring in at us. It looked just like me, a 12-year-old girl with mousy hair, only unlike me, one eye was missing. That side of its face crushed, and its lips were nearly white, its face pale, and its head sitting at a funny angle. I looked away, creeped out tingles running down my spine, and turned on my phone. Georgie's response to my message was there. My heart fell as I read it. And Georgie and I had been best friends since we were little. It hurt to see her turn back on me. "Stop messaging me, please. My parents say you're a creep to use this number. Leave me alone." Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this story for today. Now, I'll see you guys in the next story. So don't forget to sit back, relax, and listen.